Right now on 4 News Now at 6, we're tracking snow making its way into our area. I'm going to help you plan out your morning and which areas will get the most of it.
Plus, what the city is doing to make sure the roads are clear when you drop your kids off at school in the morning.
And a brawl in North Spokane leaves a music studio in shambles. We'll show you the moment a car with people still fighting inside came crashing through the building. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Well, it's almost here, the first measurable snowfall of the season here in the inland Northwest. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Derek Dice.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Because of that, we could have some chaos on your morning commute, and our team of weather experts have declared tomorrow a weather alert day. We have team coverage tonight. We begin with meteorologist Matt Gray to see which areas are going to be hit the hardest, Matt.
Well, and one of those areas is going to be our busiest traffic area, the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene Metro. Up and down the I-90 corridor, we are expecting accumulating snow, and it's going to be during the morning commute. So as Kirsten just said, things are going to get messy out there, and that's why we have this 4 News Now weather alert day for tomorrow. If you can avoid being out on the roads in the morning, that's probably a good idea. Those first couple of times we get snow and everybody's adjusting back to winter driving, something always tends to happen, and certainly sitting at home nice and comfortable and warm is a better alternative if you can do that. So for tonight, up in the mountains, rain turning to snow. It has already in the Cascades. We'll see more snow falling on the passes and difficult driving conditions. And then on Wednesday morning, it's that first valley snow of the season. And beyond that, we're talking about some cold October temperatures. It is going to feel a little bit like winter out there over the next few days. Now, what we're talking about as far as the hardest hit areas, there's going to be a kind of a band of heavier snow that's going to develop here, and it looks like it's going to be right along the I-90 corridor, or more specifically, I-90 through Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and then Highway 2 as you work your way into central Washington. So from Wenatchee to Coulee City to the Grand Coulee Dam, over to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and then up I-90 to Lookout Pass. This is where we expect the heaviest snowfall. In general, we're talking about 1 to 2 inches. After all, we're talking about a fall snowstorm after all. You head further north, you'll see some accumulating snow, places like Colville, Sandpoint, but it's not going to be at the level that we'll see a little bit further south. Meanwhile, you head south towards the Palouse, south of Moses Lake. It's going to be a little bit too warm, and so we're going to see mostly rain or some snow that will be very nice and not accumulate. That is what we are looking at for the morning, and of course those chilly temperatures will follow afterwards. So we'll talk more about the chilly temperatures, and I'll take a closer look at the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene Metro when we talk about snow totals coming up.
All right, thank you, Matt. Be sure to download the 4 News Now weather app to get the most up-to-date weather info you need sent straight to your phone. Our team coverage continues now. The return of that winter weather means a tricky commute.
Luckily, though, winter preparations start months in advance for the people maintaining our roads. 4 News Now's Allison Martinez is live to give us a look. Allison.
Yeah, Matt's absolutely right. Tomorrow morning, driving on roads like this is going to require a lot more patience. The first snowfall of the season is on its way a little bit earlier than expected, but the city of Spokane says it's ready to tackle this. Now, today I learned what the city is doing now to make tomorrow's commute much easier.
We start working on this, in advance, and we're ready to go.
Ready for the winter, ready for the challenge of keeping our roads safe for the traveling public.
While many of us aren't ready for the harsh realities that come with winter weather, those maintaining our roads are. The Washington State Department of Transportation and the city of Spokane say they've been preparing for the changeover for months, and they're up for the challenge.
Yesterday they were out here, they were attaching plows to our trucks, hoppers which carry our de-icing material, some of our tanker trucks for other types of de-icing material. So the changeover's happening.
The city of Spokane is also shifting gears, staging materials in the 4 corners of the city and major roads.
We will be pre-treating those arterials in the hills with that liquid de-icer this afternoon and this evening to prepare for that snow that's going to come down. And what that will do is when that moisture comes down, it'll kind of start to melt it as it lands. So that's kind of the attack we take.
Davis also said that tomorrow morning, trucks will be ready with sand and salt for any traction issues that arise. The city of Spokane also has multiple construction projects happening. Remember to allow extra time for not only that slowdown, but weather delays as well. After a very nice weekend of temperatures in the 70s, this weather may come as a shock to the public, but luckily not to the people who are maintaining our roads. For more winter driving information, you can visit our website, kxly.com. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez for News Now.
All right, Allison, thank you. We know kids are wondering if enough snow might trigger delays or closures tomorrow. If your child is one of the 30,000 who goes to a Spokane public school, here's what you need to know. Families will get email, text, and phone notifications between the hours of 5:30 and 6 a.m. if weather impacts school schedules. If you don't get a notification by 6, it's safe to assume it's a normal schedule. If there's no schedule change, but you as a parent don't feel safe trying to get your kids to school, call the office and report it as an excused absence. It's also important for Spokane residents to keep sidewalks shoveled for the safety of kids walking to school after it snows. You should keep a 36-inch path clear of snow per a city ordinance. And for more details on weather procedure protocols for SPS students, you can visit our website, kxly.com. And be sure to have Good Morning Northwest on first thing tomorrow morning for the latest weather and traffic conditions, plus any school delays or closures all winter long.
Those cooler temperatures could mean a steep heating bill at the end of the month. Here are a few things that you can do right now to keep costs down while keeping your family warm. Check your doors and windows for any gaps that could let in cool air, and gaps can be really small. Avista says a 1/4-inch gap around your door is like having an almost 7-inch hole in the side of your wall. Avista also says isolate your windows to keep the heat in and the winter air out. For more tips like this, look for the story on kxly.com.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office is looking for the 5 men involved in this brawl that ended with a car crashing through a North Spokane music studio. This all happened on the 15th. Tonight, the owner says she's considering moving her business to a new location because of the safety concerns. Our Peter Choi has the story.
A surveillance video capturing the moment of car crashing into a local music studio.
Disbelief. I mean, I couldn't breathe. It's hard to explain.
Another camera shows an argument in the parking lot just before 2 a.m. Then a driver loses control and smashes right through the studio, then takes off.
That little blonde drum set down there was actually through the wall, embedded in the wall.
VoiceWorks music studio owner Marcia Schlangen has taught music for all ages for years.
About 20 years. And this is the culmination of a dream, to work with students, to enjoy music and pass the love on. Music is healing. Music is everything to me, and people are everything to me. And at that moment, I thought, this is it. It's over.
And take a look at this. You can still see some of the damage left behind here and the broken instruments and glass. And the owner has boarded up the studio for now. Despite the thousands of dollars in damages, she says her biggest concern is safety for her students.
I just don't feel confident that I could ever feel safe here again. I owe that to my parents.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says it's looking for 5 men involved in this incident, asking the public for help to find them. Schlangen says she now plans to move her business to a safer neighborhood to continue what she loves the most. In North Spokane, Peter Choi for News Now.
Well, still ahead, a Washington lawmaker accused of bringing a gun to Hong Kong.
How he responded when he found it in his bag coming up. And at least 9 cars stolen off a North Spokane car lot. How one of the thieves managed to get in. That's next on 4 News Now.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Save your green! You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
The timeless story you know and love is now Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. Catch the Grinch in this heartwarming holiday classic, perfect for the entire family. 100 times better than any bedtime story. Cheers the New York Times. November 10th and 11th, First Interstate Center for the Arts. On sale at BroadwaySpokane.com. Catch the Grinch live for the holidays.
Hello, I'm Mark Peterson. It's that time of year again when Washington Trust Bank helps you dispose of your sensitive documents and protect your identity with 4 easy steps. First, head to one of their 4 participating drive-through locations. Second, fill your seal and shred bag with the documents that you want to destroy. Third, secure the seal and shred bag. Then, drop your bag off at debris where they will destroy your documents in their secure space. Pick up your seal and shred bag this Friday at Washington Trust Bank's Lincoln Heights branch.
Here we go. Football is back, and your fantasy lineups are set. But the real action this season is at Turf Club Sportsbook. We've got real sports betting in the heart of the action at Northern Quest, with wall-to-wall HD TVs and luxury leather seating just off the casino floor. And now, you can even place bets right on your phone with our new mobile app. There's nothing fantasy about that. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, the waiting is over.
We have new Hondas in stock and ready for delivery. Plus, they all come with a lifetime warranty.
Come check out the all-new Honda CR-V and Accord hybrids.
Or maybe you're wanting the new Honda Ridgeline or newly designed Honda Pilot.
Whether you want a new car, van, or SUV, we have them in stock.
Family owned and operated in beautiful Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for over 55 years.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Visit us at our website, cdahonda.com.
Crime is skyrocketing, and the homelessness crisis is just getting worse. When will it be enough? I'm Kim Please, running to make our neighborhoods safer and to help those in need. Vote Kim Please for City Council President.
Well, just today, a network of thieves stole 9 cars from Northtown Auto Sales on Division and Garland in North Spokane.
15 sets of keys were also stolen and damage was done to the building. Marissa Rio is there and explains how the crew was able to do all of this Mission Impossible style.
Just before 2 this morning, a thief climbed up this building where he went through the roof to rappel himself inside. There he stole several keys, which he used to steal a vehicle. From there, the stealing lasted throughout the night.
The general manager says he noticed several cars were missing as soon as he arrived to work this morning.
Nothing like this has ever happened, so it was like, there's no way that this many cars got stolen.
But when he went inside, he saw the damage. A huge hole was cut out of the ceiling in one of the offices, the only part of the building that doesn't have cameras or an alarm system. That's also where all the car keys were. The thief must have taken the keys and went back through the roof because no alarms ever went off. Camera footage from the lot shows the thief stealing a Dodge minivan. Less than an hour later, he comes back, but this time with friends.
Then they just start taking cars all night long, and then it takes them like 20 minutes to like go and then come back, or 30 minutes, and then they just all night long just keep taking cars.
Some of the cars they stole include a few BMWs and a Mercedes.
It takes a lot of work just to transport 10 separate cars. It takes people and manpower, and you've got to get them across town, and I just don't know where they're going to hide 10 cars. So I think that would be the biggest thing, is if we can get this out there, it'd be a humongous help. Like I said, I don't think our insurance is only going to cover so much. So if we never found these cars, it would be pretty devastating.
Arata said the damage plus the stolen cars totaled to more than $250,000.
2 of the stolen cars were found in a parking lot in North Spokane, like this Mercedes here. If you see any suspicious cars in your area, you're encouraged to call Crime Check, which is listed on our website at kxly.com. Reporting in Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
What a wild story. Well, $6.1 million. That's how much money will come from the American Rescue Plan to keep the Track Resource Center open until next June. Last night, the Spokane City Council approved moving the funds. The money is being moved from programs like mobile medical services and the eviction defense program. The city saying these programs.
So those were actually programs where we ran existing requests for proposals, and it was underutilized, so those dollars were not being fully allocated in those areas, so that they've been pulled back to be able to utilize the Trent Resource and Assistance Center dollars.
Councilmember Michael Cathcart was the only one who voted against it. Other council members say a more sustainable plan needs to be presented to fund the homeless shelter long term.
In Spokane Valley, a couple is facing up to 20 years in prison for stealing COVID relief money. They were charged for receiving money for a company that didn't qualify. The U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Washington says Raymond and Jennifer Hildebrand are being charged with 8 counts of fraud. They say Raymond applied for and received $363,000 in COVID relief funding on behalf of his auto company and used the proceeds to fund another company that was not eligible for relief. If convicted, each faces up to 2 decades in prison and could be forced to pay the funds lost.
And we are keeping an eye on your mountain passes tonight. Things are quiet in most places. It's not snowing yet in Snoqualmie, but take a look at Stevens Pass. You can see a little bit of the snow starting to accumulate in the grass on the side of the highway. This is just the beginning, folks. Winter weather is on its way to the inland Northwest, and your forecast is coming up after this.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Convention and Visitors Bureau.
We aren't just HVAC specialists. We're a Lennox premier dealer. That means we offer the most energy-efficient products on the market with savings you can see and perfect air you can feel. Your comfort is our passion, and we're with you every breath of the way. Enjoy greater comfort and lower energy costs. Call us today and save on Lennox with special incentives and rebates.
Call Norco Heating and Air today.
Tomorrow morning, when you see what Tom Brady, Aaron Judge, and Jason Tatum are doing together on GMA to make some fans' wishes come true, you'll want to cheer. Plus, this week, Shark Tank's Mr. Wonderful and YouTube phenom Ms. Rachel are live. All on.
Good morning, America.
With Chevy Silverado and Silverado HD, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. With the power of up to 36,000 pounds of max available towing and the confidence of an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado for you. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $3,500 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a Turbo Max engine. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. At the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
5 stars. All rise for To Kill a Mockingbird. Unmissable and unforgettable. A mockingbird for our moment. Beautiful, elegiac, satisfying, even exhilarating. A New York Times Critics Pick. Mockingbird is now the most successful American play in Broadway history. All rise for Aaron Sorkin's great play. Richard Thomas is Atticus Finch in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
December 5th through 10th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Oh, some big changes coming in your weather, and already we're starting to see some impacts from this storm across the Palouse region, down into the LC Valley and the lower Columbia Basin, where we are getting some pretty good rain right now. Places like Pullman seeing some quite good showers here as we close out this evening. Now, some of this is beginning to track a little bit further to the north, and so later this evening, we'll have to keep an eye on some wet weather potentially moving into the Spokane area. I'll have an update on that as we take a closer look around the radar during the 6:30 half hour. But let's skip ahead to the snow. That's what everybody wants to know about, right? So we have some off and on showers through most of the night. Then as we get to the early hours of the morning, those temperatures cool, that rain flips over to snow. And the trend here throughout the day has been having that happen a little bit further south than, say, where we were a day or two ago, where Spokane and Coeur d'Alene were on the very southern edge of this. Now we're well inside what should be some of the most active snow and it's going to be right during the morning commute. Now, as we head into the afternoon, still some snow hanging around. May see a brief transition to a wintry mix, but generally in the afternoon, we're going to be drying out there. So for the first half of the day, that's when those driving conditions are going to be none too pleasant. We're also going to have to keep an eye on conditions on Thursday, particularly Thursday morning across North Idaho, as we're going to see some more snow showers develop and then track off into Montana, but they may leave behind some slippery road conditions, especially in places like the Silver Valley. But let's talk about the snow amounts for tomorrow, specifically around the I-90 corridor. We've been showing you these percentages for the last few days. Here's where we sit now. And generally, most areas, pretty unlikely that you would see more than 2 inches. I think most of us are going to end up in that 1 to 2 inch range. Some will be a little bit less. It just depends on your, well, local geography. You see, we're going to have winds out of the northwest, or northeast rather. And so areas where you have, say, to the south or to your west, you have some higher terrain. Those areas, you'll see some rising air. That will kind of help squeeze out a little bit more snow. And so you're going to see places like Liberty Lake, for example, like the South Hill, like the West Plains, likely going to see more snow than places like Meade or like Hayden or downtown Coeur d'Alene, where you've got some mountain ranges right here that are kind of generally blocking the wind. Now, this is our brand new update here we've just gotten in the last hour. The overall snow amounts raising just slightly. In general, you should be looking at about 1 to 2 inches for most of the metro area, with some places seeing just slightly under an inch. Regardless of what you get, the roads are going to be slippery and slick, and it's not going to be a fun commute tomorrow morning. Speaking of commute, if you got a longer trip planned, well, we got winter storm warnings for both sides of I-90, both journeys over the mountains. Take a look at these snow totals here over the next 36 hours or so. Yeah, some big time stuff right there. So winter has arrived in the mountains. Winter's arriving in the valleys, at least temporarily. But look at these chilly temperatures. It's a beautiful weather for the weekend, but man, it is going to be cold for the next few mornings all the way through Halloween. As we get into the beginning of November, we'll start to see, I think, a little bit more normal temperatures for this time of the year. All right, and with these cooler temperatures, much cooler temperatures, we want to make sure that every child in the inland Northwest has a nice warm coat in our annual Coats for Kids campaign. Pretty pertinent right now. You have until the end of this month to donate a new or slightly used coat to any one of the locations that you see on your screen. To find your closest donation site, head to kxly.com/coats4kids. You've got 1 week left.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Well, hours after being named the Republican nominee, Majority House Whip Tom Emmer has dropped out of the race for Speaker of the House.
So now the search for a 4th nominee is on. ABC's M. Wynn has more.
House Majority Whip Tom Emmer was the Republican nominee to become Speaker for just a few hours today before he abruptly dropped his bid for the top job. During a series of secret ballots, Emmer had beat out several other GOP candidates for the nomination, but a follow-up tally behind closed doors showed about 26 GOP members would not support Emmer if his name came up on the House floor. He could only afford to lose 4 GOP votes. As soon as Emmer started to try to change those no votes to yeses, former President Donald Trump posted on his social media platform for his congressional allies not to support the number 3 Republican in the House, calling Emmer a rhino Republican in name only, and that voting for him would be a tragic mistake.
So I disagreed with him on a lot of things over the years, and I assume it had a big impact.
This all happening after former Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted. The 2 previous nominees for Speaker, Representatives Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise, were also unable to muster enough support.
This has just been a cluster, a mistake, and it has harmed not just the party, but the nation.
House Republicans are now considering another batch of candidates, including several previous contenders. Without a speaker, no legislative business can move forward, meaning no aid packages to Israel or Ukraine and no funding bills to help avert a government shutdown with a mid-November spending deadline looming. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
An 82-year-old woman held hostage by Hamas shares her story, how she was kidnapped and what obstacles are in the way of freeing the other hostages. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Thank you for getting groceries, Mika.
Of course. Happy to help. Will Medicare cover any of these bills?
I thought it would, but it doesn't.
We'll get through this. I will always be here for you.
I know. But what about you? I don't ever want you to be in this situation.
Don't worry, Dad. With WA Cares, I'm earning long-term care benefits with each paycheck. That money will be there when I need it.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Get ready for fall with a John Deere compact utility tractor. Now through October, get a 1025R tractor loader backhoe for as low as $299 per month. Visit your Pape Machinery Ag and Turf store today. Pape keeps you moving.
Hondas are piggy banks on wheels. Stylish, athletic piggy banks that save you money at every glorious turn. Legendary fuel efficiency, famous for its resale value, and now with great deals including 2 years complimentary maintenance, it's your chance to get into America's best value brand. So start saving money and drive happy as a pig in. See your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
The most important issue in this mayor's race? Crime and public safety. I'm Nadine Woodward. We cannot let Spokane become Seattle. It's why I increased police patrols, opened new precincts, and got dangerous offenders off the streets with our Violent Crimes Task Force. My opponent? She's helped fund criminals and is supported by anti-police activists. I'm proud to be endorsed by law enforcement. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message. Let's make crime illegal again.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
It was in August. Fires raged through our area. This one, the Gray Fire in Medical Lake. Homes destroyed, trees destroyed along with it. They've got to come down and get moved out for the rebuild. We're here in mid-October to help move them. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by and with volunteers from Horizon Credit Union.
4 News Now is brought to you by Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical.
Around the world tonight, Hamas has released 2 more hostages. One of them, an 85-year-old grandmother, now sharing her story.
We want to warn you, some of the things you're about to see and hear might be hard to take in. CNN's Mike Valerio explains how she was kidnapped and what obstacles are in the way of freeing the rest of the hostages.
Moments 2 elderly hostages, now free from the grip of Hamas, thought might never come. One of the released hostages says she was kidnapped on a motorbike and taken to Gaza. The 85-year-old is likening her time with the group to going through hell.
She's really the first person that have been with other people there, and I think she's very aware that she can pass on information.
Their medical condition is okay. They're talking. At first, we immediately brought them to their family members. It was a very, very emotional meeting.
Meanwhile, in Gaza, people frantically search for survivors in buildings that have been bombed to ruins. The Palestinian Ministry of Health reporting more than 700 people have been killed in a bloody 24-hour period. And without much needed fuel being withheld in humanitarian aid deliveries, Gaza's hospitals are facing the possibility of mass casualty situations.
Without electricity, this hospital will just be a mass grave.
As attacks escalate, the Israeli military says it's now waiting for a green light on a ground invasion.
Hamas is responsible for civilian casualties, but we will do every effort to avoid them and to fight this war as speedily and as rapidly as we can, but it could be a long war.
To any state or non-state actor that is considering opening another front in this conflict against Israel, or who may target Israel's partners, including the United States, don't throw fuel on the fire.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Well, we have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including why researchers at Harvard say 18 to 25-year-olds are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety and depression. Plus,
sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. at the Tin Roof.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show, an experience you will never forget. Discover Santa's all-new North Pole with holiday getaways starting at only $250.
Les Miserables, still the world's most popular musical. Experience the breathtaking production that leaves both audiences and critics awestruck. Les Miserables.
November 14th through 19th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets available at BroadwaySpokane.com.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and nutrients for immune health.
I'm Kim Please, running for Spokane City Council President. For safer neighborhoods, a vibrant downtown, and people in need getting real help. That's my vision for our future. Vote Kim Please for Council President.
It's time for 4 News Now's Coats for Kids. Just drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate to Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Your locally owned Papa Murphy's is proud to be part of Coats for Kids this year.
Now through the end of October, bring in a coat donation to any Eastern Washington or North Idaho Papa Murphy's location.
And receive a $4 off coupon good for any large or family-sized pizza.
Shop local at the Tin Roof. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, it's starting. Snow is already falling on Stevens Pass, and it's slowly making its way towards us.
Ooh, most of that snow will be coming overnight. And that's why meteorologist Matt Gray, along with the rest of the First Alert weather team, have declared tomorrow a weather alert day. Matt, how much snow are we talking about?
So one that we would brush off, say, in the middle of December or January, but it's the first one.
Sure.
We all know what happens on the road during the first one. Things get a little crazy out there. So everybody's got to get your heads up, drive carefully tomorrow, because there's a lot of wet weather that is headed our direction. You can see that little area of swirling clouds right off the coast, and all of this wet weather out ahead of it. That's this little low pressure system that is really going to start pumping in the moisture, and eventually the rain down in our valleys right now, including places like Pullman and Moscow tonight, will turn into snow as it tracks further north. In the Spokane area, here's what we could expect. Dry for a little while, but once we get into the late evening, that rain is going to work its way to the north, and eventually as we get into that 3 to 6 a.m. time frame, we're going to start to see things begin to flip from rain to snow. Temperatures will cool enough as we get towards sunrise, and as we get into the morning commute, that snow is going to start sticking, and that means the potential, especially on some of those side roads and in your local neighborhood, where things will get a little bit slippery in the morning. And so that will be a tough situation and something that you need to take some extra time to plan for. Here is how things are expected to go. You can see later this evening that rain comes to the north, a little bit of snow transition, and then another round of wet weather shows up some point during the morning commute. Now, as we've gone through the day, the forecast computers have been pulling it back a little bit, pulling it a little bit later. That would be some good news, but regardless, snow is on the way, whether it's early morning, late morning, right in the most inconvenient time possible, which is probably when it's going to actually happen. That's what we're taking a look at. And after that, we're talking about some really chilly temperatures, which I'll show you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Matt, thank you. Be sure to download the 4 News Now weather app and turn on those push notifications to get important weather updates sent straight to your phone. Well, a Washington lawmaker arrested for bringing a gun on a plane to Hong Hong Kong will have to stay overseas a while longer to face charges.
Republican Senator Jeff Wilson represents the 19th district, which spans from Aberdeen to Longview. He was arrested when he landed in Hong Kong Sunday, where he was on vacation with his wife. The gun is registered in Washington, not Hong Kong, and Wilson said it was an honest mistake. He discovered it in his bag mid-flight and immediately told customs. Now TSA is trying to figure out how the gun slipped through security in Portland. Nationwide, TSA is finding a lot of guns at those checkpoints. And if the trend keeps up, 2023 will beat last year's record for the number of guns seized.
Yeah, so far this year, TSA has found more than 3,200 guns at airports nationwide, 113 of those at SeaTac. But TSA agents are missing them too. In 2017, TSA agents failed 80% of the tests done to see if they could find firearms in people's bags. All right, the Stevens County Jail was built in the early 1970s in the courthouse's basement. It is now in desperate need of repair for the safety of both the inmates and the employees.
Right now it holds 57 inmates, but it's only built for a max of 44. Bronte Sorotsky explains how the sheriff's office is hopeful an upcoming bond will help.
I'm here outside the Stevens County Courthouse, which in its basement houses the Stevens County Jail. Now, if this bond passes, not only will they get a brand new jail facility, but it'll also house more inmates, something that the county desperately needs.
You may hear some people say, you know, they're inmates, they're criminals, but they're people too, and they do have basic human rights and needs.
Needs that the Stevens County Sheriff says aren't being met. When you first enter the Stevens County Jail, you'll have to go down a long, steep flight of stairs, which can create a problem if an inmate is drunk or disorderly.
We just don't have the room to facilitate the needs of law enforcement and the justice system.
Space is limited, so it's harder to prosecute people for things like shoplifting or other smaller crimes.
If we catch somebody shoplifting, at most they get a ticket. Sometimes it's just we write a report and send it to the prosecutor for their review, and they may not even charge it.
And because the jail is underground, inmates and jail staff barely get any natural light. All of this is why the sheriff's office is hoping to pass Propositions 1 and 2, a sales and use tax for a new jail and justice center, and a sales and use tax for a new jail and juvenile detention center. If both pass, the county's sales tax will raise from 7.6% to 8%.
Which will still be in the lowest in the state.
The new center would have over 100 cells, outdoor areas for inmates, as well as mental health and substance abuse treatment. If this bond is approved, the new jail will be located in the county commissioner's building. Reporting in Colville, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
In Spokane County, voters will decide the fate of Measure 1, a proposed sales tax increase that would help pay for a new jail. If approved, sales tax would go up by 0.2%. Besides the jail, it would also help fund other criminal justice projects. 60% of the revenue would go to the county. The rest would be allocated to individual cities and towns. Critics have argued that the plan does not address the fine details of exactly how the money will be used. Supporters, including Spokane County Sheriff, say that limited jail capacity limits law enforcement's ability to keep the community safe. To learn more about the measure, head to KXLY.com/forthepeople.
Washington and Idaho are two of the dozens of states suing Facebook's and Instagram's parent company, Meta. State Attorney General Bob Ferguson saying the company's products have harmed young users' mental health with its addictive features like infinite news feeds and frequent notifications.
The company knew that targeting youth posed risks to their mental health. Meta did not just disregard those risks. The company exploited them to maximize their profits.
Ferguson is calling on Meta to make big changes, including getting rid of the like button, strengthening controls for age requirements, and restricting content that is most harmful to kids.
Not guilty. That's the plea entered by that pilot who allegedly tried to shut down the engines of an Alaska Airlines flight. You may remember this story. He's charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. In court documents, the pilot admitted to taking psychedelic mushrooms. According to a newly released arrest warrant, Joseph Emerson was sitting in the cockpit behind 2 other pilots. Somewhere between Astoria and Portland, he said quote, "I'm not okay," and then grabbed red fire handles that kill the engines and activate a fire extinguisher system. Emerson and a pilot wrestled for about 30 seconds, and Emerson left the cockpit. He told a flight attendant to cuff him, and he was put in the back of the plane, where he tried to grab an emergency exit handle as the plane was landing. He told police at the airport that he hadn't slept in 40 hours, thought he was dreaming, and was having a breakdown. Emerson faces 83 counts of attempted murder.
Washington State could be teaming up with the Mountain West Conference to schedule games for next season. What the future of Cougar football could look like coming up in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
This week's Washington Trust Shred location is at the Lincoln Heights branch.
The tradition continues. BECU presents Beanie Night when WSU takes on Stanford November 4th. Attend the game and check out BECU's new beanie creation, free for all Coug fans. WSU battles Stanford and BECU Beanie Night November 4th in Pullman.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic is locally owned and operated and has been providing personalized, comfortable, and satisfying care to our clients for over 30 years. Our licensed denturists are trained in the latest techniques in the construction, development, and preparatory work of a denture. Full dentures, implant attachments, repairs, fittings, adjustments, we do it all. Every denture is made to look as close as possible to your natural teeth. With our knowledge and friendly staff, competitive costs, and quality of service, you'll leave Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic smiling.
With Chevy Silverado and Silverado HD, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. With the power of up to 36,000 pounds of max available towing and the confidence of an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado for you. Get 0% financing, plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $3,500 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a Turbo Max engine. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
The tradition continues. BECU presents Beanie Night when WSU takes on Stanford November 4th. Attend the game and check out BECU's new beanie creation, free for all Coug fans. WSU battles Stanford and BECU Beanie Night November 4th in Pullman.
Next ET.
Only ET is rehearsing with Mira and Gleb to this familiar tune.
Let's go, time after time.
Plus, we're with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
The stars honor their most memorable year.
I'm never gonna not.
You found your wing and you've taken flight.
Plus, a touching tribute to Len Goodman.
I'm never gonna.
Dancing with the Stars live tonight on ABC and Disney+.
Let's take you around the region. We're keeping an eye on the wet roads as the snow continues to fall on Stevens Pass, and wet roads in Moscow too, where we're seeing quite a bit of rain. It's a little bit of a soggy evening across the Palouse. One of the places here in the inland northwest that is not likely to see some slick and slippery roads here, at least for tomorrow morning's commute. Meanwhile, further north, things have been pretty quiet in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but look at this. Low mid-40s, so we don't have to cool off that much tonight. Start to get into the zone where that rain, once it gets here, will begin to start to flip over to snow before too long. So something to watch pretty closely here. As we get to the late evening, we'll start to see some of that rain. It's on the Palouse, track its way north. We'll go through this transition through the night, and by the time we are up in the morning, we are at freezing or just slightly below freezing. We're seeing snow falling, and as we go through the morning and the ground temperatures cool off, we'll see that snow begin to stick. So it is going to be a pretty interesting morning, let's put it that way. Here are your temperatures. We got some pretty cold air that's trying to work its way in. One of the reasons why we're talking about snow. coming in from the north, from Canada and western Montana. And so for tonight, we're talking about 20s in places like Colville, Bonners Ferry, and Sandpoint. But most of the snow action will be south of you in these areas that will be in the 30s. We'll stay above freezing in Pullman. We'll stay in the 40s in the LC Valley. And so those temperatures tonight, they give you a good idea of who's going to see the rain, who's going to see the snow, and who is going to be a little bit quieter than everyone else. Here is 9 in the morning. We're seeing that snow pushing through Spokane, through Coeur d'Alene, and the rain-snow transition line somewhere here around the Palouse region. Likely somewhere around, say, the Tico-Rosalia area and Ritzville as you head further to the west. So certainly going to be a quick transition if you're on the Palouse. Now, as we get into the afternoon, we start to see things warm up a little bit. We may get a brief rain-snow transition in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but things will ease off pretty quickly for the afternoon, and we'll be able to recover from whatever snow we see. Now, by the time we get to Thursday morning, we're going to see more wet weather, more snow trying to develop across North Idaho. That'll be something we'll have to watch here as we head into tomorrow and develop the forecast for the rest of the week. Now, this is going to give you a general idea of, number one, who will get some snow. Number two, what those snow totals are going to look like. The bigger band where you'll see some snow and the potential for some areas to get 2 inches to a little bit over 2 inches, essentially right in the I-90 corridor from the Silver Valley through Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and then working down Highway 2 through the Grand Coulee and into the Wenatchee area. Notice places like Omak, Colville, Bonners Ferry. Yeah, you get a little, but not as much as some of these areas further south where the cold air meets the moisture that's coming up from the south with the cool air coming down from the north. And here are your highs. Upper 30s, low 40s. And this is where we're going to stay for the next several days, at least for our highs. Our lows, they are going way, way below where really anything that we have seen here for the last several months. Look at this, low 20s this weekend. Could even see some upper teens. We're going to be some cold football games. It's going to be chilly up in the stands. Chilly trick-or-treating as well here, as we're not really going to warm up until we get to the beginning of November.
Whew. Okay, thanks, Matt. Well, the first real snowfall of the season on the way. Here's something to get excited about. The start of ski and snowboard season.
Yeah, if you're in need of some new gear or want to swap some of your old stuff, you want to check out the Mount Spokane Ski Patrol Ski Swap this weekend. It'll be held at the Spokane County Fairgrounds and Expo Center on the 28th and 29th. You'll be able to find thousands of new and used skis, snowboard, clothing, and children's gear.
New at 6:30. A new report from Harvard says 18 to 25-year-olds suffer anxiety and depression at twice the rate of 14 to 17-year-olds.
ABC's Deborah Roberts talked to these young adults to see what's impacting their mental health.
Hi, I'm Audrey.
I'm Tarun.
I'm Daria, and I'm 23 years old.
They're among the brightest of Gen Zers. Daria, Tarun, and Audrey.
I work in a lab and do research.
I was going to be a senior in college this year and dropped out to start my own startup.
And I study political science.
But this morning, they're also raising concerns about the state of their generation's mental health.
There's a lot of things that can make us overwhelmed and stressed out.
And some researchers aren't at all surprised. A new report from Harvard's Making Caring Common project says 18 to 25-year-olds are about twice as likely as 14 to 17-year-olds to suffer from anxiety and depression. Psychologist Richard Weisbord directed that new study.
Young adults, you sort of figure they're coming out of college, maybe starting their first new jobs. Why are they so vulnerable right now?
High rates of loneliness among young adults. I think it's a world that seems off the rails to them. I think it's unclarity about their job prospects. And I think social media turbocharges all of this.
After talking with more than 700 young adults, the survey found that more than half say financial worries and pressures to achieve negatively influence their mental health. A staggering 58% say they lacked meaning or purpose in their lives.
It's trying to figure out where you're going to live and how you're going to afford to live.
Everyone is super ambitious, and that creates a little bit of a toxic environment where people feel like it's a very comparative space.
And though the internet may connect them, these young adults say they crave in-person interaction.
I
I remember my parents telling me about bowling leagues and being able to go to the mall and then and doing things like that in real life. But now when you meet someone, you exchange Instagrams.
While the numbers may sound bleak, Wiseport says there are some positives in the data. What gives you hope for them?
I think this is a very psychologically aware generation. They're very articulate about their feelings, and they may break the stigma about mental health that we have in this country.
That's how people make connections, right? It's like, you have anxiety? Oh my gosh, me too.
Everyone really is more used to showing their emotions on their sleeve. I think that's like a really good step in the right direction.
I have major hope in our generation.
And that was Deborah Roberts reporting. Here is a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight as we head to a break. More 4 News Now at 6 after this.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
Don't shop in the cold. R&R RV in North Spokane has over 120 RVs indoors at 525 East Francis. Right now, save thousands with huge year-end discounts and clearance pricing. The time to buy is now. Don't shop in the cold. Shop over 120 RVs indoors. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, all indoors at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis, or online at rnrrv.com.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. Caregiving is the nation's most common job, with 54 million people nationwide acting as a caregiver to their loved one. To honor and support Washington's caregivers, AARP presents the Caring for Caregivers video podcast series. The series features discussions with local experts, community leaders, and caregivers on a range of topics, including financial planning, housing options, healthy aging, and more. To catch up on current and past episodes, visit this website.
Do you show your Vandal pride? Dave sure does. He proudly dons the silver and gold when he's at work, mowing the yard, and especially on game day.
Hey, can we get 3 tacos?
I got this.
Where did you get that?
You don't have a Vandals debit card?
Don't worry, Dave. You can get your Vandal debit card by visiting p1fcu.org/GoVandals. Go Vandals!
There's nothing worse than politicians who say one thing then do another. Like Lisa Brown, who said,
"People care about crime. They want people who break laws to be held accountable by our law enforcement system." I believe that.
Brown's actual record, she gave our tax dollars to the Bail Project of Spokane, which bails out violent offenders. Brown gave a $50,000 grant to La Taxion, a felon convicted of murder. We can't trust Lisa Brown to keep Spokane safe.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation. 4 News Now is brought to you by Northwest Granite.
1 ticket to Boise, please, or San Diego, or maybe Las Vegas. Those are the places Washington State football could be playing next year. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. According to Yahoo Sports, Washington State and Oregon State have been in talks with the Mountain West Conference, not to join, but to form a scheduling alliance for 1 or 2 years, while the Cougars and Beavers continue to operate as the Pac-2. Reports say the proposed partnership includes scheduling models of 8 and 7 games against the Mountain West teams. This alliance would come with the idea that WSU and OSU would eventually join the conference long term. The Cougars and Beavers have been left out of conference realignment discussions, leaving both schools without a schedule for next season. Washington State and Oregon State are in the middle of a legal battle against the departing Pac-12 schools over control of the conference's assets. This has caused WSU and OSU to be in a holding pattern until the future of the Pac-12 is resolved. A hearing on the matter is scheduled for November 14th in Whitman County. Now, as for this season, the Cougars have lost 3 in a row, putting their bowl game hopes in jeopardy. The Cougars need at least 3 more wins to be guaranteed a bowl game. WSU will look to end the losing streak on Saturday against Arizona State. And while a Pac-12 championship is unlikely at the moment, the Cougars say there is still a lot left to play for.
I have no doubt that, we'll find ourselves in a bowl game. It's really on us, and that's the way we love it, is making sure that we're doing everything that we can to make sure we earn that last game. We really can turn the season into what we want it to be, and guys got to show up every single day with the attitude to win.
Kickoff between the Cougs and Sun Devils is at 5 o'clock on Saturday night in Tempe, Arizona. Eastern Washington hits the road to take on Portland State this week. The Eagles have just 1 win and 3 losses in away games this season. And with the exception of the season opener against North Dakota State, all of them came down to the wire.
3 of the 4 have been really in our hands if we wanted to get it done. We just didn't get it done. Everybody wants to know why it didn't get done. Sometimes it just doesn't get done. Sometimes your kids just don't put their laundry away. Well, you've done it for 3 weeks. Why didn't you? Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. But as long as we're willing to learn from those undone moments, we can go for it.
The Eagles will look to move forward against Portland State at 1 o'clock on Saturday out there in Hillsboro, Oregon. Now, it's opening night in the NBA, and there are a number of former Gonzaga and Washington State players in action. Former Zags Julian Strawther and Rui Hachimura are going head-to-head as we speak. Strawther is playing for the Denver Nuggets, the defending champs of the NBA. Hachimura is suiting up for the LA Lakers. And former Washington State star Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors are facing off against the Phoenix Suns tonight. And we'll have an update on how the Pro Zags and Cougs did tonight at 11. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Taylor Swift, Baby Whisperer.
Baby, now we got bad.
Next, Inside Edition, a baby's infatuation with Taylor.
When she gets fussy, Bad Blood is the song that I play.
Then, a mother's warning, birthday balloons.
Happy birthday.
What these moms want everyone to know.
Don't leave your babies alone with them.
Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Do you have concrete floors that look like this? Let Everhart Painting Floor Coating Specialists transform your floors with their multi-step coating system. The finished product is spectacular. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
My name is Devin.
And my name is Kelly, and Prime Source helped us cut our interest rate in half on our car loan. Melody Wagner helped us by moving it to Prime Source from where we had it.
It saved us over $100 a month.
Being a family of 5, we're trying to find, cutting corners any way we can to make sure that everything's paid for and to have that extra $100. And we're so grateful.
Refinance with Prime Source Credit Union. Contact us for details.
You didn't ask to get in a car wreck, but here you are, injured, out of work,
and the insurance company wants to fight you on everything. You didn't pick this fight,
but you can pick who finishes it.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
Drink a watermelon moonshine.
Oh, Lord, when it rains, it pours.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
Hondas are piggy banks on wheels. Stylish, athletic piggy banks that save you money at every glorious turn. Legendary fuel efficiency, famous for its resale value, and now with great deals including 2 years complimentary maintenance, it's your chance to get into America's best value brand. So start saving money and drive happy as a pig in. See your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
This week's Washington Trust Shred location is at the Lincoln Heights branch.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, a brawl ended with a car crashing through a North Spokane music studio, and it was all caught on camera. See it at 11.
And that is definitely some must-see video. Just in the last 20 minutes, we've had some rain move out of Whitman County, and now through Cheney, it is approaching Spokane. So especially on the south side of town, starting to see some rain moving in. Keep that in mind if you got some plans. Maybe you're heading out to dinner late this evening. Then we wake up to some snow on a weather alert day on Wednesday. We've got some chilly temperatures in the days to come.
We keep doing this where there's like no gradual change of seasons. It just like smacks us in the face, right?
Yeah, that's normal, right? That's what yeah, we're okay with that. And notice Pete the cat on your graphic.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.